and life. Here is the Brother Leon Show. You better recognize.
What's going on, listeners? This is your boy, Brother Leon, and you are tuning into another episode of the Brother Leon Show. So today, guys, we getting ready to go in here, and that's the God knows truth. Let's go. Well, the one thing I can say, man, is this. When it comes to the city of Wilmington, they are always quick to talk about what the black parents need to do, black on black crime, the shootings in Wilmington. But now we have police brutality in Wilmington, and all I'm getting is crickets, noise, that right there. And one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is that it's white noise, no noise, when it should be crying against the system, crying against the Wilmington police, because at the end of the day, what we have is a messed up situation that is going to get worse if the Wilmington City Council doesn't step up and say something and demand from the Wilmington Police Department. We need to see body camera footage. But at the end of the day, it's almost like, yo, we need to see the process. And people are tired of seeing things like this, hearing things like this, and then you wonder why. Then you wonder why the looting. Then you wonder why things keep happening the way it is. Because the one thing that I'm going to tell you right now, this is my personal opinion, that the police unions use in the city of Wilmington, the situation of gun violence, to get their contracts, to get money. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, this is a problem that they refuse to tackle because it gets them what they need. It's almost like this. We'll show Wilmington how to live with it. Just like the FDA shows us how to live with certain conditions and ailments because they make money on the comeback. Just like the Wilmington police make money every contract year on the comeback to gun violence. And it has been that way since Mayor Baker. And everybody has tried their strategy. Mayor Baker had jump out squads. I remember the jump out squad. I got harassed by the jump out squad because I lived on 4th and Clayton, and I went down to the corner Chinese joint that was on Rodney Street. And the one thing that I want you to know is that when I went in there, here come the jump out squad. And the crazy thing about it, man, they got everybody black. Checking my drawers. And it was just a bum rush. And had a female there too being checked by males. And nobody checked the Korean persons behind the counter. Just the blacks. And these are white police officers. And what is heavily in the city of Wilmington right now? White police officers. But yet we have a black city council, and the city council is staying silent to the most recent events of police brutality. I just got off of a call on Friday, a discussion, a talk about a bill that is trying to get initiated in Delaware that's going to bring greater light and accountability to police. And we're going to try to do away with this whole LeoBor thing. The LeoBor is basically the law enforcement's Bill of Rights. That's what that is. That's where that whole thing about qualified immunity comes into play. So let me read you something. The Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights, LeoBor, is intended to protect American law enforcement personnel from investigation and prosecution arising from conduct during official performance of their duties and provides them with the privileges based on due process. Additional to those normally provided to other citizens, it was first set forth in 1974. There it was, set forth in 1974 following Supreme Court rulings in the cases of Garrity versus New Jersey in 1967 and Gardner versus Broderick in 1968. It doesn't prohibit police departments from subjecting officers to drug tests. 15 states have versions of the bill written into their statutes. An additional 11 states are considering similar legislation, and many other states have similar provisions written into their contracts with police unions. Critics say that the LeoBor makes it impossible to discipline or remove bad officers, including but not limited to after they have been convicted of felonies. In courts under LeoBor, officers are judged only by other officers. There it is. Officers are only judged by other officers. Let me finish. LeoBor prevents the formation of civilian review boards that give civilians oversight over police actions. So, let's go into this. I want to read to you the states that have it. And I'm getting this from Wikipedia. As of April 2015, this is April 2015, the following U.S. states have enacted legislation to codify their own variations of Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights: California, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Louisiana, Minnesota, Nevada, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Texas, I'm not surprised, Virginia, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Maryland. And so the one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is this. Let me go to the incident that happened in the city of Wilmington. So I got this 3 days ago from WDEL, and I was actually looking at a video of an officer. He took a person into custody. And so the video is showing the officer slamming the guy's head. He's not even resisting, but it shows the officer slamming his head up against a wall at least 3 times. At least 3 times. And if you look at the video, if the video is still up, it was posted by Kobe Owens, who is a part of the Democratic Party in the state of Delaware. And so the video got posted of the officer taking this suspect into custody and slamming his head 3 times, at least 3 times. Now, allegedly, we don't know what happened. We don't know what the altercation was, what the officer was called there for. Allegedly, this man was supposed to have made some slurs to daycare workers, lewd remarks, and lewd gestures in the presence of children. And so, I'm not giving an okay to any of that. But there is a proper way and procedure to take a person of interest into custody or even question. But you don't lead with slams of the head to a wall. You don't lead with that. And the crazy thing about it is that we always been talking about the training of officers. We've always been talking about, oh, they need more training. Oh, we just got a few bad apples. Oh, you just catch them on a bad day. A bad day for a cop could be the death of a civilian. And the crazy thing about it, with these laws in place, it's like they can get away with impunity. The cop can kill a civilian and get away with it. Or get lesser charges. Remember this? Taser. Remember that? Remember Breonna Taylor? Remember Philando Castile? Remember Tamir Rice? And then when you go back and look at the cases, it's not like law enforcement doesn't know what to do. Because when you compare the case of Philando Castile in the case of Justine Damon, you will see that the officer of color who accidentally shot Justine Damon, he ended up going to jail for a long time. Now, he may have his conviction lowered, but he got convicted to the full extent. When it comes to other officers who may happen to be white and it's people of color who end up dying, they kill us twice. They kill our names because we saw this with Eric Gardner, and that was sickening. We saw this when it came to Tamir Rice. They was up here talking about his mother and his father. They even tried to bring up stuff about Botham Jean, but they couldn't find nothing. And it's almost like you can't even be in your own house. Because we always thought that, okay, if I'm at home, I don't have to worry about police. If I got all my documentation, I don't have to worry about police. If I'm educated, I don't have to worry about police. If I go to church, I don't have to worry about police. I'm going to tell you right now, the police have proven all of those narratives wrong. They're nothing but myths. You catch a racist cop on the right day, your ass might not make it home. The one thing that I want to know is, where's the director of public safety? Why is it that we've only heard, allegedly, from the president of city council asking for evidence, rather, from the Wilmington Police Department, because the Wilmington Police Department just got body cams. So my question is, where is the body cam footage? Where is the police report? Where is the 911 call? Because these are the things that we need to hear and see in order to paint a clear picture. And so the one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is that we have a predominantly black city government, and they ain't said shit. Yeah, I said it. They ain't said shit. But yet, when it comes to re-election, we got flyers going out. When it comes to this happening, right here, crickets. Nothing. Nothing from none of the block representatives. Nothing. And if anything, there should be a line of city council members demanding from the police department, yo, what's going on? This ain't cool. Because we as taxpayers, we have paid for these daggone cameras. I see scooters. I see bicycles. How come I don't see the footage? Now, granted, yo, you even gave us a copy of the police manual. Allegedly. A lot of it was redacted. So my question is, why have we only heard a little bit about this even on WDEL side? And if you read the racist comments, oh my God, really? But I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at the racist comments, because that's what you're going to get from people, from some white people in Wilmington, from white people in another county, and even from another state who may, listen to WDEL. But even WDEL should be demanding, yo, what's going on with this? The people in the city of Wilmington paid for body cameras. Where's the footage? We have a black television manager. We have a black local TV station. Where is the footage? Where is the reporting? And so now I'm just waiting on the activists, because I want to know, when is the protest? Because at the end of the day, when you see stuff like this, you can't take and say that Miss McDowell was wrong. Because now she's starting to look like she's right when you see stuff like this and nobody is saying shit. Or they trying to blow her off. Or they trying to hem her up with all types of legal stuff. But who is doing anything? tell you right now, man, at this point right now, black people in the city of Wilmington, don't just be voting because they're black. You vote because of their voting record, and then you see what they do in times like this. Because it's these same black people who will take and throw you a barbecue, throw a hamburger in your mouth, give your child a book bag, and then ask for a vote, and then they vote against stuff that could potentially help you. But yet they done threw a hamburger in your mouth, gave your child a book bag, and hey, you black, I'm black, vote for me. Where's the voting record? Are you going to vote against things that are going to impact me directly? Are you going to vote to have, services cut, programs cut that could benefit me? Or are you going to be one of the ones that the mayor got in their pocket, and now you living on the high hill while we folks down here in the valley is struggling? Because that's how it is. I'm going to tell you right now, man, please. Half of that city council, or majority of that city council, yeah, I'm saying it, this is my opinion, the mayor got y'all. And the president's going to have a hard road to hoe. It'll be amazing if President Congo can get anything done. It'll be amazing. Because you already got the detractors. You already got people on opposing sides who's already on the mayor's side. And if President Congo goes against the mayor, then the mayor got his pawns. And nothing gets done. So this is why I say, people of color, you better wake the hell up. Because you see what's happening on the federal level with the failure of the George-Floyd Act. They knew that they wasn't going to pass that. And they had two black men going back and forth with it. Tim Scott, Cory Booker. But yet at the end of the day, I'm tired of the sentiment. We need legislation. We need legislation that's going to protect us. We need legislation that's going to represent us, and politicians who are going to fight and speak for us. Because I'm going to tell you right now, man, Joe Biden has sold us. We got Juneteenth, good sentiment. You got more food stamps, good sentiment. But where's the George Floyd Act? And how is it we can pass an anti-Asian hate bill? And the Asians get there first. But we as black people been suffering longer than them. And we ain't got jack. So, call it what you will as a rant, but I want you as a person to listen to this and then call your representatives. Because I'm getting sick and tired of every time we see politicians, it's for a photo op. Seriously. Are they knocking on doors now? Talking about, have you seen the video? Are they knocking on doors now? Talking about, hey, we going to stage a protest. We going now to City Hall. Are they doing that? Because it would be nice to see some of our elected officials, some of our city council people, some of our representatives to head these things. Instead of just regular civilians who ain't got jack to do with the government. It would be nice to know that I have an elected official that is on my side that will fight for us. Because I look at it like this. If you can get money to throw a barbecue and get book bags, then you could definitely set something up where we can go and speak to the mayor, and it not be a Zoom meeting held at 4 o'clock, knowing that everybody's at work, or a closed door meeting, because we need to know. We need to know what is going on. And have WDEL there. Have Brother Ivan Thomas there. Have Pastor D there. Because this is unacceptable. So I'm telling you right now, man, something has to give. Because I don't care what the situation is. The cop does not have a right to slam a person's head into a wall. So in other words, you saying, I'm not using a chokehold, but I'm going to slam this nigga's head against the wall. Could cause that man to have a concussion, Luckily, it wasn't nothing protruding out of the wall because you could have punctured his temple. And at the end of the day, why does it take surveillance camera from a store when cops have body cameras? Why? And then you have the nerve to say, yo, let's not have that conversation about defunding the police. When you see stuff like this, you have to ask yourself, where are my tax dollars going? Seriously. When you see stuff like that, where is my tax dollars going? You can't sit up here and say it's just a few bad apples. No, it's bad seed. And if the seed is bad, the root is going to be bad. The fruit is going to be bad. And I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no shit from the black cops here. Because if you a so-called black good cop, you just a fucking accomplice too, because you ain't saying shit. Yeah, I said it. What are you saying? What are you doing? This cop is on administrative leave, allegedly. But my question is, if we have all these so-called good black cops, good white cops, good Hispanic cops, Asian cops, female officers, why is everyone being silent? I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a fucking brotherhood with police. There's a fucking brotherhood. And at the end of the day, that brotherhood means more than the fucking oath that they take to protect and to serve. It's to protect and to serve that brotherhood. It's to serve and to protect that fucking badge. And that's what you're going to get. So I'm going to tell you right now, black people in the city of Wilmington, watch out. Watch out, because this is the shit that they get to get away with. And if these elected officials are not going to say shit, don't come knocking on my damn door. Seriously, I don't want no fucking picture. Don't even hand me a damn flyer. Because at the end of the day, I see what you about. You part of the problem because you silent. And y'all can be all over social media and every other place. But when it comes to circumstances and situations like this, nothing. Nothing. Let me read this. And this is WDEL. On Tuesday, Wilmington Mayor Mike Przicki called a video of the police officer slamming a man's head into a wall deeply concerning, echoing the sentiment expressed by Wilmington Police Department spokesman Monday. So there it is. He's saying, the mayor, and I'm reading WDEL's article, deeply concerning. That's what the mayor said. The mayor should have said, this is uncalled for. And we're going to launch an investigation. And he need to be checking, hey, I need to talk to the director of public safety. I need to talk to the chief of police, because we have had every type of fucking police chief and strategy here for the city of Wilmington, and we still got the same type of problems. Everybody done sucked off the tit of Wilmington. Ooh, hey, let's bring a guy from Chicago here. He can clean up Wilmington. Is Wilmington cleaned up? No. They use that shit as a fucking ploy, like I said earlier, to get contract money. So if you say the guy from Chicago couldn't clean it up, the guy from Philly couldn't clean it up, Baker couldn't clean it up, it's something we're going to have to live with. It happens all the time. Let's just get the money. Let them niggas kill themselves. And that's the attitude of some of these Wilmington police officers. Is this community policing? No, it isn't. Is this transparency on the Wilmington Police Department's behalf? No, it isn't. It feeds into the narrative of what has already been put out here. Violence, racism, and prejudice. And the crazy thing about it is that the police that police the city of Wilmington, half of them don't even live in Wilmington. They live outside of Wilmington. And that's the God knows truth. So you need to ask yourself, yo, why is it that we have all of these police officers, all of these elected officials who live outside the city? I'd like to hear that one. And that's the God knows truth. But hey, let's get back to this. A Wilmington Police Department spokesman Monday, and you know I like to say so much more about these events like this, but we're constrained. And that's what the mayor said. Frizicki said, there's due process that everybody is entitled to. We want to respect all the parties involved, and I'll have much more to say at the appropriate time. The man seen in surveillance video that began circulating on social media showing an officer attacking him during an altercation that ultimately led to the individual's arrest was identified by police Monday. Though they declined to identify the officer involved, and by attorney Tom Newberger Tuesday, who reached out to WDEL to confirm he'd been hired to represent Dwayne Brown. So that is the person that was taken into custody. Our team has been asked by Mr. Brown to be his lawyers, and we have launched our investigation into the brutal beating, Newberger said in an emailed correspondence. You can't expect us to demand reforms in the useless use of force rules and training in the Wilmington Police Department, which I have constantly criticized since Jeremy McDowell was killed by Wilmington Police Department. Wilmington Police Department spokesman David Karras on Monday detailed charges brought against Mr. Brown stemming from an incident which was related to an investigation into a suspect harassing workers at an area daycare, including screaming of lewd comments at employees there. The charges against Brown were only announced after the video of Brown began circulating online, though the incident allegedly occurred on September 21st, 2021. So there it is right there. Whenever they take us into custody, like I said, when it's a white officer involved, we kill him twice. And the reason why we got to kill him twice is because if we make them look guilty in the court of public opinion, then when the juries get to it, they're going to automatically side with the police. Because here it is. He's yelling at daycare workers. Children are involved. So what does that mean? You pretty much indirectly, allegedly calling this man a predator. And it's a shame. Because at the end of the day, this was September 21st, 2021 that they're talking about. And this incident happened September 28th. This was published by WDEL September 28th. So even if you want to go 3 days before that, before September 28th, what's that? 27, 26, 25. So in other words, the officer catches up with this dude 4 to 5 days later, asks him about this incident, and then he takes him into custody and starts slamming his head before he's even getting to the car? Is that what we doing now? Because we've seen this. And this is why I say they kill us twice. How much dirt was brought up on Jeremy McDowell? And now they're bringing out this man's dirt, and they'll probably bring up more dirt at the end of the day. Seriously. So the one thing that I want you guys to understand and know is this. We got to get out here and get involved in the whole legislative process, and we got to see who's doing what. And you need to see who is voting for bills that's going to represent and benefit you and your community. Somebody who's not going to take and stay silent when it comes to the police. Because some of these representatives, they use police as security. Seriously. They have some of these cops patrolling their blocks. So someone was like, nah, I can't say nothing because they helping me. And they destroying your constituents at the same time. So something got to give. Let's go back in here. Wilmington police regularly release details about investigation in the city a week or more after incidents are reported by them to have occurred. Brown, 44, was ultimately charged with 2 counts of harassment, resisting arrest, breach of release, and possession of marijuana before being released on $4,100 secure bond, according to Karras. A vice chair for the Delaware Democrats, executive committee member of the Delaware NAACP, activist Kobe Owens, called for the officer's dismissal and arrest on Twitter while sharing the video in his feed. This is the abuse that usually goes undocumented, that goes unseen, that everyday people have to see, Owens said Monday. Not every incident get the same attention as George Floyd or others where we've lost life, but this is still police brutality at the end of the day. The Delaware Center of Justice also issued a statement Tuesday calling for answers following the release of the video, saying the community is struggling to understand what caused this incident. We have a lot of questions about how this is being handled, but primarily, why are we being given information on the victim of the attack, said David Beaver, executive director of DCJ. Are victims' alleged infractions meant to be a justification for the officer's behavior? The fact is, that was an act of violence. We're glad to see some steps were taken to remove the officer from the community. We need to see the body camera footage. There it is. That's what I'm saying. We need an accountability of why the incident happened, what will happen next, what the officer's record is, and what recourse the victim is entitled to. We're calling on the Wilmington Police Department to provide these details straight away. That's what needs to happen. And my question is, why did it take Kobe Owens? How come that wasn't Trippy Congo? How come that wasn't City Council? I'm serious. Mr. Sam Guy. Seriously. All the other members. Why? Seriously. Hanifa Shabazz. Stephanie Bolden. Sherry Dorsey. Darius Brown. Seriously. And Miss Blunt. Joe Biden. Something gotta give, man. Because I look at it like this. If we allow it here, how far is it gonna go? Because if this cop is doing it, what other cops are doing it? Seriously, what other cops are doing it? He's just, filmed on surveillance video. He's just filmed on surveillance video. And at the end of the day, you ain't seeing Jack. Not from no body camera. And if it was body camera footage, where is it? The cops should have let that go first, because at least you can see the cop's point of view. But we see surveillance from a store. Not a body camera, a store. So you have to ask yourself, as activists, why do we fight? We fight for issues like this. And we need to protest, because at the end of the day, if we don't say something, if we don't put these politicians to task, then it's going to continue. I don't need a plaque. I don't need Black Lives Matter flag or Black Lives Matter written on the ground. Especially when the cops look at that, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and slam your fucking nigga head against a wall. Or shoot you. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. And then you have the opposite side, Blue Lives Matter. Man, please. If that job is so fucking stressful, quit. If it's that stressful, quit. You chose to put that uniform on. You chose to put that badge on. And some of y'all get a fucking hard on just because you can roust a nigga, ain't nothing they can do. Some of y'all got that. I can exert my authority and my power, and there's nothing that you can do against it. You're going to pay these fucking fines. You're going to go to this jail, and we're going to make you a slave. And that's what it is. It's slavery. And then you got the people who benefit from this system. They ain't saying nothing because it's good on their end. But they'll tell you, oh yeah, if the parents would have raised them right. Really? We can have a fucking riverfront. But yet some of the houses in the city of Wilmington, man, please. We can fix up the riverfront, but we can't fix up the houses that the citizens live in? Seriously? But yet we can sit up here and take their houses. We can sit up here and take their vehicles for parking tickets. And then sell them. And then have the audacity, after you done sold the vehicle, send them a letter stating that you still owe. So this is the reason why, man, I'm telling you right now, we got to begin to put things in perspective. I'm not voting for you anymore because you black. I need somebody that's going to represent me for real and not just take pictures with me, throw a rib in my mouth, give my kids a coat or give them a book bag, and then vote against the programs and things that could benefit us. Or make sure that the city comes through with buying up properties and throwing us out. Something got to give. So I'm going to tell you right now, wake up. Because you know this ain't right. I'm serious, this is not right. But the one thing I will say is this. The person who has the power controls the narrative. And that's the end of the day. That's the story at the end of the day. The person who controls the power controls the story, the history, and the narrative of how they want to spin it. And as long as you see that black man as a threat, he's always going to be a threat. You're always going to hear the cop view. You're always going to hear the white view. You're always going to hear the power view. But you always get the label when it comes to black. Look how they demified Eric Garner. Look how they demified Mike Brown. They kill us twice.
Walk in the truth that makes you free every day. Follow Brother Leon on all social media outlets.